Good evening, friends. I am Dr. Samir Chaukkar. I am a MD in homeopathy and I have been teaching and practicing homeopathy in India and abroad since last 26 years. And I have specialized in treatment of ADHD, autism, and other learning and behavioral disorders. I've also presented research papers at various national and international conferences and seminars in Dubai, Brazil, Turkey, Malaysia, Canada, US, Australia, New Zealand, to name a few. We at Homeopathic Health Solutions are helping autistic kids with destructive behavior and hyperactivity and many other problems with homeopathy, and we continue to work tirelessly to expand the scope of homeopathy for autistic spectrum disorder. Some of these children, after homeopathy and other therapies, have attained reversal in scores and have shifted to mainstream school and pursue their special abilities and talents to get back into the mainstream society. We at Homeopathic Health Solutions are coming up with a series of lectures on scope of various homeopathic remedies in treatment of autism. The aim of these lectures is to bring awareness in parents and doctors alike about the excellent scope of homeopathy in behavioral and learning disorders of children like autism, ADHD, and many others. But here, my friends, we would like to add a disclaimer that we are in no way advocating a cure for autism, but only that homeopathy is a natural way of healing and has an excellent scope in treatment of autism and many children with mild to moderate autism, which can be reversed. We advise parents not to use the remedies on their own and consult a qualified and experienced homeopath for their child. Now, let us see what is autism. Autism is a pervasive neurodevelopmental disorder appearing in the first 3 years of life, characterized by markedly abnormal or impaired development in social interaction and communications, and associated with a stereotyped behavior, purposeless monotonous hyperactivity, and lack of interest. Now, let us see how homeopathy works. Homeopathy, friends, as we all know, is a natural system of healing and it stimulates and strengthens the body's natural ability to heal. And autism, along with its related neurodevelopmental, gastrointestinal, and immune system symptoms, responds to homeopathy just as readily as simpler problems, just as cough and colds. We all know that in autism, children show marked degree of hypersensitivity to noise, light, touch, etc. Some children also show intense inclination for hugging and touching things, while others would be extremely averse to hugging and cuddling. Homeopathy here works well to correct the accentuated state of sensitivity to light, touch, noise, thus bringing about good moderation in the child. At the same time, homeopathic medicines also improve the fine motor skills as well as perceptual difficulties. Behavioral modification through homeopathic medicines is an age old, well documented function of homeopathy. These tiny, sweet pills work wonderfully to improve hyperactivity, temper tantrums, self injurious behavior, and destructive behavior. There are no specifics in homeopathy, and similarly, there is no one remedy for autism. It depends entirely on the symptoms of the child, which are elicited by the homeopath or told by the parents, and of course, his own observations of the child. For the homeopath, the symptoms of the child are important and not the symptoms of autism. Whenever we see children with autism, we see that parents usually, out of anxiety, only talk about the symptoms of autism to the homeopath. But as far as prescribing an exact homeopathic remedy, the homeopath requires the symptoms that are peculiar to this child, which are only belonging to this child, which makes this child special and different from other children. For example, you may have a child who has different kind of cravings, aversions. So every child is different. He or she needs a tailor-made remedy according to his physical and mental makeup, his fears, his anxieties, his IPR, whether he or she is aggressive or mild, fearful or fearless, liking or not liking animals, his cravings and aversions in food, the sleeping patterns, the position, and of course, very, very important is the mother's state of health during pregnancy, which usually is very, very important in children suffering from autism and ADHD. What is needed for a successful treatment? Complex and long standing problems such as autism are best managed by an experienced homeopath who knows how to choose the right remedy for the presenting symptoms, the right strength and frequency of the dose for the person's sensitivity to that remedy, And lastly, the correct changes in the remedies, the potencies and dosages as symptoms improve during treatment. With a little knowledge, simple problems such as bruises and colds can be easily treated with homeopathy. But for optimal results, autism has to be best managed by a qualified and experienced homeopath. Now, remember one thing which I also want to share with you is that when parents approach a homeopath for the treatment of their child with autism, when the treatment starts, many a times the problems sometimes become more, sometimes they become less. So these ups and downs are very, very common in the treatment of autism. So we always advise all the parents that don't be very, very happy with improvements, sudden improvements, and don't be very, very sad or panicky with anything which goes down. Because autism is all about ups and downs. With autism treatment is all about ups and downs. Okay. How much improvement will I see is one more common question which parents ask us. Once you start homeopathy for your kid, you will see positive results within days. While some children show improvement within weeks to months, others make slow but steady gains over many years. It all depends upon at what level do we diagnose autism, do we catch the child. The earlier you catch the child, the earlier you diagnose the child, the earlier you start homeopathic treatment for your child, it is better. Most, however, fall somewhere in between. How long it depends on the interplay of the severity of symptoms, the degree of irreversible damage, the closeness of match between the remedy and the child's symptoms, the skill and experience of the prescriber, which is very, very important. That's why I always tell all my patients that it's very, very important that you choose the homeopath properly for your child. It's not only the qualified homeopath but also the experienced homeopath who has seen many, many such cases of autism. The important thing to remember is that with good homeopathic prescribing, all children with autism should notice some obvious improvement. Okay. How do you know your child is improving? This is one question that parents always ask, that once you start homeopathic remedy, what are we expecting? So homeopathy is like mathematics. If you know what remedy you have given, you also know how the child is going to respond. So once you give the right homeopathic remedy, when your child starts responding to the homeopathic medication, the improvement is seen first at the general level. What do you mean by general level? General level means the appetite, the sleep, the stools, the urine, all these are the general symptoms. The child starts getting calmer. Improvement is seen in his sleep, appetite, and general health. Next, there is an improvement in behavior. So there will be a reduction in hyperactivity, restlessness, tantrums, violence, etc. Then there will be an improvement in eye to eye contact and ability to respond. Further, you will see changes in communication skills. He starts indicating and subsequently starts developing ability to speak words. Echolalia also improves, but this may take a little time. Obsessive behavior also takes a long time to improve. The child starts showing improved general resistance. This is because the homeopathic medicines act as immunomodulators. One more questions that parents have is that we are giving a lot of supplements to our child. We are giving a lot of supplements, vitamins, and a lot of diets for our child. What should we do with that? Should we continue them or should we stop if we start homeopathy? I would suggest no. At the beginning of treatment, it is best to keep everything the same, making it easy to see which changes are the result of homeopathy. With ongoing treatment, as the child improves more and more, you may wish to reduce some or the other interventions and supplements. Are there any side effects with homeopathic remedies? As a general rule, no. However, sometimes, as I have told you before also, that symptoms may worsen for a short period after the remedy if the dose was a little too strong or repeated too often for the person's sensitivity. This reaction, my friends, is short lived because homeopathy itself is a very, very delicate medication. So once you stop the homeopathic medication, all the effects which were hyper in a way will be reduced and will disappear. So it is not toxic, not harmful to the body. There are no side effects. It often provides helpful information on direction of future treatment. Okay. In most cases, order of improvement is seen as above. First of all, best results are seen when we start the treatment as the earliest. Catch at the earliest. As soon as possible, when the symptoms or the signs are observed, it is very, very imperative and important that we immediately take the help of a homeopath or a physician or whoever. Improvement also depends upon the degree of autism. Now, the degree of autism could be mild, moderate, or severe. Other associated conditions like epilepsy, genetic disorders also influence the outcome. So, my friends, at the end of this talk, I would like to bring to the notice of all the viewers that a harmonious coordination in the team of homeopath, psychologists, psychiatrists, educators, speech, and occupational therapists, and of course, the parent, is a must in dealing with the spectrum of autism in its entire range and depth. Each discipline has its own distinct role to play. Therefore, synergy results in the best results. We'll be talking of various homeopathic remedies in our subsequent lectures. Please don't use these remedies on your own. We are doing this venture in order to just show you that homeopathy works excellent, and it will help your child also. It will help every child of autism, and we have so many remedies in homeopathy which can play such an important role in bringing back your child to normal. So please don't use these remedies on your own and consult a qualified homeopath experienced in treating cases of autism for your child. Okay, thank you very much. Good evening from Homeopathic Health Solutions. This is Dr. Samir Chaukkar logging off.